Hi Lisa, it's Tuesday. I want to talk to you about two stories from my week and a story that they reminded me of. The story that they remind me of, I heard from Hank Green on an episode of Vlogbrothers. He originally got the analogy from Patrick Rothfuss, the author of the King Killer Chronicles. The analogy has to do with the way we interact on the internet and the way we should view ourselves within this digital space. But I think it should extend to the way we view ourselves in every space. So the analogy is that we walk around in this invisible giant robot suit, and the problem is that we have no idea how big our robot suit is, and to us it just feels like your own human body. So this giant robot suit, you can do good with it, you can save lives, you can build giant things, but because it's invisible, you also have no idea whether you're knocking over people on the street, whether or not you're crushing tiny mice as they run down the gutter. You just don't know because it's invisible to you. It just in general kind of describes really well the influence that you have on the people around you and how you don't realize how strong that is. Okay, so first story. I was at Tony's doing some grocery shopping, and usually when I grocery shop I like to listen to podcasts. Can't waste any time. Okay, so I wasn't really paying attention, and I dropped a packet of dried herbs that I had picked up, and I didn't realize it, so I just kind of kept walking, not noticing, and some really nice old lady caught my attention and stopped me, and she was like, "Oh, excuse me." So I turn around, and I see the herbs on the floor, on the ground. I'm like, "Oh, thank you very much." And I walk over to her, and she's like trying to bend over to pick it up, and I can tell like she's kind of like struggling to pick it up. And I was like, no. I was like, please, like let me do it. Like I got it. Like don't worry about it. Like I'll pick it up. But I don't know if there was a language barrier, a bit, or if she just kind of wanted to pick it up because at that point she's like, I just got to do it. But so I hesitate, right? Because I didn't really want to bend down to like try and like snatch it out of her hand and like bump her head or anything. So I'm just kind of like standing there waiting for her to like pick it up a little bit. Like finally like bends down to touch it, draws her hand back right away. I see a couple drops of blood. I'm like, oh no, this lady just got a paper cut. I pick it up and I'm like, oh no, like, are you okay? Like, I'm so sorry, are you okay? And again, there was a bit of a language barrier, so she just kind of was like, oh no, it's fine, it's okay. And I was like, I didn't know what to do, because like, should I have gone and like found her a Band-Aid, or should I have like gotten her help or something? But like, I didn't really know what I could do besides say sorry and say thank you for trying to help me, I guess. I'm so sorry. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm thank you. Sorry, I'm thank you. But yeah, so that's the first story. My question behind it, right, is like, did I give this lady a paper cut? Did she get a paper cut because I wasn't paying attention? But like, what if she had like fallen over and broken a hip or something else, and it was all just because I dropped my herbs because I wasn't paying attention because I was listening to a podcast? I wasn't realizing my robot suit, and my robot suit blinded me to what was happening around me, and it negatively impacted other people, and not only other people that I have no idea, right? Complete strangers to me. It's been weighing on my conscience. Makes me feel really bad. Second story. So the Van Dyke trials, the verdict came out on Friday. Jason Van Dyke, who was a Chicago police officer and shot and killed Laquan McDonald, 17-year-old in 2014. And this was a big deal just because there's been a lot of unrest regarding the police shootings, and the fact that it seems as though police officers are not being held accountable for their actions. And I don't want to get into that too much because that's just a whole thing. But on Friday, I was taking a nap in the student lounge, and around 1:50, right, and the verdict to this trial was supposed to come out at 1:45. I got a text that woke me up from a nap, actually. Alert from National Louis University. All classes after 2 p.m. have been canceled. all students on the Goose Island campus should report to the student lounge before leaving. It's okay, like, that's a little disconcerting. And I guess it was because they were afraid of riots breaking out, based on the verdict of the Van Dyke trial, right? Being that they thought that if he was not found guilty, that people would riot. And this alert, and I was checking, and I kind of saw just on some of the tweets and stuff that come up on Google searches that other companies and stuff in the loop were doing the same thing and letting their employees out early. And this just came off as so irresponsible to me. It just kind of felt like fear-mongering to me. If this police officer isn't found guilty for shooting this black teenager, black people are gonna riot, right? They're gonna burn the streets, they're gonna go out, they're gonna smash cars and whatever, and like kill police. Like, that's what like people were afraid of. And it just seems like that's just sowing so much more divisions, right? Who was it that advised these organizations to evacuate, right? Did the organizations themselves try to get a read of the situation and then evaluated it and decided that they should evacuate? Or did someone from the Chicago Police Department come out and advise that these companies do this? Or is it someone from the city? I find it hard to believe that these companies would like have evaluated it. Like, it was someone sitting in HR. Hey, maybe we should evacuate on Friday. Any single individual, I believe, would probably just think like, there won't be riots. Like, that seems absurd, right? So if it's this higher organization that did it, and my guess would be either the Chicago Police Department or the city of Chicago in some manner. And I understand that if you're in their position, your goal is to try and minimize the damage as much as possible. So you're going to take every precaution to minimize the potential badness of a riot. So it would make sense that you would have tried to evacuate the loop and the congested downtown area. But to go around telling people that there's this possibility that there's going to be a riot if this white police officer gets off for killing this black teenager, it just feels so much like it's sowing division in like society, right? Like, Chicago already has horrible issues with being a very, very segregated city, and going out there and telling companies that it's in their best interest to evacuate the downtown area because there might be a race war. But like, you can do that without spreading the fear. I don't know. It's hard to tell, because then you have issues of just like, our government should be transparent, right? So if they're preparing for a riot, it's like, hey, what are you doing over there? Like, oh no, we're not preparing for a riot. Like, they probably should tell us that they're preparing for a riot, but I think they should do it in a more responsible way. It's people in positions of power, especially in organizations like this, that really need to realize how big the robot suit is, because they can have such long-lasting effect. If you want to watch the Vlogbrothers video that I was talking about, links down there. Same with an article regarding the Van Dyke trial. Unfortunately, it's any reference to the paper cut incident is only in my head. But other than that, Lisa, see you next week. As always, your OS, be.her.